Hello, and welcome to the web tutorial where we will go over the expectations of learning leaders. And so learning leaders at AIM High are both site directors and instructional coaches. Um, for the most part, I will be going through the document that shows all of these expectations and narrating and also showing you some of the resources that go that we have to support learning leaders at AIM High. So the overall expectations of learning leaders at AIM High is that they create an environment that cultivates the learning and growth of students and teachers, that they guide faculty to set meaningful goals and support them to reach their goals, and that they understand and support teachers in meeting AIM High teaching expectations and accessing resources. So in this document, there'll be some deliverables. What are the things that learning leaders need to do? Some supporting documents and links and when. And so you'll see things like preview week. So I just want to give you a little bit of, um, you know, what we call these different weeks. So preview week is another way of saying the week before Faculty Institute Week. So Faculty Institute Week is when all of our teachers start at the sites and begin planning for the students. During the week before Faculty Institute Week, AIM High site administrators, so that site directors, instructional coaches, student support specialists, and campus coordinators are expected to engage in some asynchronous training and activities in order to prepare to support everybody else during Faculty Institute Week. So you are doing that right now. Faculty Institute Week, again, is, we also call it Week 0, is the week of professional development and preparation for AIM High summer faculty and staff. So when you see that in the when, you will have a better understanding of when that happens. Looks like I need to add in a when right here. Okay. So, and so you will see there, let's focus for a second on all of the things you are expected to do during preview week. And so remember, there in the email that I sent to you earlier, there is that help you get to this. Please log your hours for this week. Instructional coaches should probably log about 5 hours of work during preview week. So let's look at what that looks like. First is reviewing AIM High's approaches to teaching and learning. There's the AIM High Learning Experience, which is our approach. And I will talk about that a little bit later in the next web tutorial. We also have our content overview, which I will point out a little bit, but you'll see this in other web tutorials as well. And this is basically the scope and sequence for AIM High. So you will see what is expected content-wise for each grade and subject at AIM High. And then educator practices, and this goes along with the AIM High Learning Experience, and it'll show some of the experience that we want for students here, and then what educators do to do that. And that will come up, all of these documents will come up often. So reviewing that, because that is going to be the basis of AIM High teaching and learning. And then we have a web tutorial for teachers during week 1 are going to be expected to view a few web tutorials. One is this web tutorial on the Teacher Center. So you can view, we would like you to view this, though if you've already used the Teacher Center, you may not need that as much, but so, that one's maybe a little bit optional for you. STEM web tutorial, that will, so the rest of them are for the different subjects. And so you are familiar with what is expected for each subject at AIM High. So we have STEM, humanities, which the web tutorial will be coming soon, and issues and choices. You should view all of these. and then you will be able to support your teachers. And so we also have the Instructional Coach Preview Week web tutorials. So right now you are viewing this one, so great job. We will link all of the other ones, they will all get linked in. And then there's also Aim High Learning Experience. And in this one, you're mostly going to learn a little bit about, we'll dive a little bit deeper into the Aim High Learning Experience, so I don't know how far we need to go. But mostly it'll be about planning for workshops, and I will explain that in a second. And then the third will be coaching and mentoring. So this will be a web tutorial to help you learn some different interventions in coaching teachers. And then the other preview week deliverable is for you to not plan and facilitate faculty week workshops, but you will start planning. So what we would really like for you to have is a draft or a rough draft of workshops ready for Monday, week 0. And you'll see right here, Monday on week 0, which is faculty week, we will be having a Zoom meeting for all instructional coaches that are on, that are in week 0, right? So we have different tracks. So all of the track 1 instructional coaches will meet together, and then all of the track 2, etc. So that happens Monday at 11 to 12. And so one of the things we will do is continue to talk about these faculty week workshops and all of your expectations. And then, so we have 4 workshops that we would like our instructional coaches to lead. And again, I'm going to go into that in the second web tutorial, but here you can see them. And again, I'll get back to that in the next web tutorial. So that is preview week, right? So it's mostly just really trying to understand what is expected at Aim High, and then also starting to build workshops for your staff in faculty week. And then we'll get to faculty, and then let's look at faculty week. The first thing that is here, I already spoke about this on Monday. And then also, you know, one of the things is for you to help teachers use the Teacher Center. Again, you can check out the web tutorial for you to understand that, but you know, it's really easy to get there. It is, I'll put it in here. It is just www.aimhigh.org/TC for Teacher Center. And so you can go there and just, you know, look around and find all the things that you can find. Another thing that you will be starting during faculty week, one of the things that's really important at Aim High is that teachers grow in their teaching practices, and summer is such a great time for teachers to really experiment with new things and really focus on 1 or 2 practices that they want to get better at. You know, we have a lot of young teachers where this will, you know, be the first time that they're leading classes, and so they'll have a lot of areas where they can grow, but we want to help people narrow in on 1 or 2. Prioritize those areas. And so we have this teacher growth toolkit that teachers will have access to. And this will be one of the workshops that you are going to lead. But I do want to make sure, you know, this is a teacher facing toolkit. So they will do similar to what you've done, is review the Aim High learning experience. And then they're going to, you know, pick an area that they want to focus on and set a goal. And we have a goals worksheet for them, and they should share that with you. And then, you know, then they're going to continue to work towards their goals over the summer and then reflect at the end of the summer. And again, you know, instructional coaches, site directors, you all, you know, one of the jobs is to support teachers in their growth over the summer. So we have that. We have the growth toolkit. There's also some observation tools that you can use. And then I also found this really cool tools for coaching. Again, your second web tutorial will give you a few tips on coaching as well. Also during faculty week, there will be some materials to distribute from Aim High. We have a STEM box. It's a blue bin, and there's one per site, and it will have a bunch of science equipment in it, or materials, and there will be a list on there. And the idea is that the things that are on one specific list, we expect all of those to come back to Aim High. So they should come back in the bin that they came in, so that we can reuse them in years to come. There will be other materials that are sort of more disposable, so we don't need those back. And you'll hear more about that in the STEM web tutorial. We also have some books and readers for humanities. So sixth graders, we are using the book A Long Walk to Water. So we have enough for all of the sixth graders to get a book, as well as the teachers. We do want those back at the end of the summer. For seventh grade, we have a reader, and they are excerpts from American Like Me by America Ferrera. And then we also have a reader for eighth grade, which is from various narratives from Voice of Witness. These are basically photocopies, and so we have enough for students and teachers, and they can write on them, they can take them home, they can do whatever they want. We don't need those back. One other thing to say about all of these readers is that if you need any more, if you do not have enough, please email me as soon as you can, and just let me know how many more of whatever reader or book you need. All of the sites also are equipped with student whiteboards. There's all kinds of materials at your site. So, please, make sure that teachers know how to get access to those. Also, conducting formal and informal observations. It's probably mostly informal observations. You don't have to turn in any forms or anything, but just a few things to point out. We have a lot of new teachers at some of our sites, and there will be some college students who are rising as leads. So please visit them often in week one, to assess what kind of support is needed for them. You might also, I also highly recommend setting a weekly meeting with those the new instructors, to make sure that they're using their planning time well, and just to really do some targeted coaching. Veteran teachers, especially veteran Aim High teachers, I think, just doing some short pop-ins is okay. You should look at their goals, so that that you're looking for something very specific that they set for themselves. It's a good practice to work with the other administrators on a schedule, right? So if there's kind of a teacher that's popping up, or a teaching team that we really need to focus on, that you all know that someone has it covered. So that starts week one. And so we're going into the summer when the students are there. We also have a weekly instructional coach thought partnership session. And that is on Thursdays from 10:45 to 11:30 on Zoom. We will start those on July 22nd, 2023. And this will be all, as long as you're actually in session. It doesn't matter what track you are, we'll all meet, because you all are just troubleshooting with each other. A lot of instructional coaches really appreciated this last year, that if there was something going on, they're trying to figure out how to support certain teachers. having the other instructional coaches around to be thought partners was really, really helpful. So again, this is a Zoom link. We will start those. And so this is roughly around period 2. So we thought that, period 1 you don't want to do because students are, maybe coming in late, all of that type of stuff. So we thought period 2 would be a good time to be able to step away from classrooms on a Thursday. The other piece is to review expectations and plan for student narrative evaluations. I'm going to correct that right now. So what they are student notes. And so at the end of the year, all of our students will get a note. One, there'll be a letter from the site directors that will go to all of the students, and then each student will get a personalized note, most likely written by their advisor. And so site directors and instructional coaches can work together to sort of coordinate and to review and to look at the student notes and and edit them when needed, or to give feedback on them. So here are a lot of resources for you, and then teachers have resources on the Teacher Center. In the resources, what it'll say is that on week 3, it would be really great if you had teachers write a sample note, and you can sort of take care of, if you give feedback then teachers will know, okay, that is what you're expecting from me. So highly, highly, highly recommend doing that. And then, let's see, lastly, but there's probably a lot more, help teachers support students with learning differences and English learners. And then we have some, there will be some IEPs, and so check in with site directors about if there are any students that you should be paying special attention to, and that you should be working with teachers on, coming up with ways to accommodate them. So those are the expectations. You have this document. If you need any additional support, please email me, Michelle. Here's my email address. You can also set up a 30-minute meeting with me. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all this summer, and you're going to love our teachers and our students.